Americans and the millions around the world who are horrified by the violence unleashed by our federal government. Many of us are experiencing emotions of fear, anger, and anxiety. In response, in addition to tonight's vigil, Reverend Rebecca and Reverend Jane will be hosting a listening session on Tuesday, February 3rd at 5:30 p.m. in Classroom A of the Lower Meeting House, and Reverend Jane will be hosting a session on Thursday afternoon, February 5th at 2 p.m., also in Classroom A. Reverend Jane notes that these will be small gatherings where we can express all of the emotions that we are experiencing and pray together for the restoration of unity and freedom in our country. Come and continue to lean into the collective warmth, wisdom, courage, and calm of beloved community. As always, all are welcome. To register, please email Reverend Jane. Her email address is included in your order of service. Let us now give ourselves fully to tonight's call to action and call to love. It is good to be together. Welcome once again.
It is indeed good to be together. Oh, that we might be gathering for other reasons. Oh, that we might be together for different purposes and things on our hearts. However, let us always, always overestimate the power of community. Let us always, always live into that truth, for it matters. So in that light, I just would like to take a moment and ask you to turn and say hello, particularly if you don't know the person behind or even across the aisle. And for those online, join in and see us. We see you. I wanted to say a particular warm welcome again to people online. We sent out a very strongly worded cautionary email about parking in Newburyport. So I know many of you are with us, and we know it, and we're glad you're here. And it's so good to be together with those of you who ventured and hopefully either walked or easily found a place to safely park. Before I open our call to worship, I'd invite each and every one of us to bring into our awareness and mind why you are here. What is it that brings you into this space? I hope you remember that, you strengthen it, and you use that resolve in all of the days, weeks, months, and dare I say years to come, hopefully and faithfully in resistance, and then in all of the recovery that will come after. I continue to meet with interfaith ministers on public witness in Boston and elsewhere, and we pray. Why do we pray? Because Christian nationalism is not religion. So we as people of faith, whatever that is for you, it matters that you let your faith be known as part of your activism, your response, and your actions. There are many, many important messages for us to bring forth. Our call to worship this evening, is from Reverend Fred Small, Unitarian Universalist minister, folk singer, chaplain, climate activist, and all-around great person. And he wrote this. He said, as we come together now, responding to the urgent call of local faith leaders, I came to Minneapolis to defend immigrant neighbors against the horrific cruelty of ICE. Grounded always in love and nonviolence, I came to use my privilege on behalf of those far more vulnerable. In the words of Lakota theologian Kelly Sherman Conroy, not as a savior did I go, but as a guest. From Mohegan activist Jim Bear Jacobs, I learned that the Lakota equivalent of amen means we are all related. Hearing the powerful, often heartbreaking testimony of Minnesota's immigrant justice advocates, I feel more intimately than ever that the truth of our inherent oneness is real. As the late African-American spiritual teacher Barbara Holmes observed, wounds inflicted on the community occur because of a willingness to do to others what we wouldn't want to happen to us or ours. So let us not be silent. Let us not hold back what we believe. Let us do for others everything we would hope and want to be done for us. Please join now in saying our chalice lighting words. You can rise if you're willing and able, and they are in your order of service. I know the light is dim. As Joanna lights our chalice. We gather this hour as people of faith with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning in celebration of the life we share together. You may be seated. And in addition to our 34 candles lit for the lives lost under the hands of ICE, we also light 2 additional candles of peace this evening. I'll share what each of them represent. We'll sit for a moment in silence, and then I'll invite us to all say peace in 3 languages: peace, salam, shalom. And this evening, our first candle is lit for the Holocaust Day of Remembrance. For the 6 million Jews who lost their lives, for all those who came out, who spoke up, who took action. To this we respond, peace, salam, shalom. And our second candle of peace is hot off the press. And I'm reading this as a piece of good news. I'm reading and sharing this as a remembrance that for all of the loss, there is to change that does occur. So, the First Religious Society Unitarian Universalist is a welcoming congregation, has been for 30 plus years, welcoming all members of the LGBTQ plus community. We've struggled the hard fight for years working with the Salvation Army. Right now, as one of multiple churches who are providing heat and a place to sleep there when it is the kind of temperature as it is today. We struggled because we also knew that their stance on LGBTQ plus and the community was different than ours. Not welcoming, not accepting. So I want to read the words that were published on their national website today. Because LGBTQ plus Americans living in poverty often experience unacceptable homophobia and transphobia, many become homeless. A majority of the homeless LGBTQ plus people end up on the streets before they turn 18, and 1 in 4 is homeless before turning 16. The Salvation Army is committed to serving the LGBTQ plus community through shelter, job training, help with substance abuse, food insecurity, teen-age suicide, helping those in need, including these members of the LGBTQ plus community, is the heart of our mission. they have changed. So let us always hold on to the power of action, love, hope, conviction. I invite us now to again rise to say together our affirmation of faith, followed by the doxology, all of which is in your order of service. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with God. And if you'll remain standing, we'll join together in hymn number 360, Here We Have Gathered. Please be seated.
The Unbroken, a poem about loss by Roshani Rea. There is a brokenness out of which comes the unbroken, a shatteredness out of which blooms the unshatterable. There is sorrow beyond all grief that leads to joy, and a fragility out of whose depths emerges the strength. There is a hollow space too vast for words, through which we pass with each loss, out of whose darkness we sanctioned into being. There is a cry deeper than all the sound, whose serrated edges cut the heart as we break open to the place inside which is unbreakable and whole, while learning to sing.
We're going with the mood. We're switching and doing our candles now, and then I'll be offering my reflection, and we have a communal call to action to participate in as well. But this is a time in our service where we pause, as we do each time we gather together, to lift up the joys and the sorrows, the hopes, the dreams, the losses in all of our lives.
Open my heart to be a sanctuary, all made holy, loved and true. With thanksgiving
This is an open invitation now for anyone who would like to come forward and say a few words about a hope, a sorrow, a concern that is on your heart, so that we may together hold it in love. So, and if you need a microphone, Joanna can come to you. But I'd like to invite anyone who would like to come forward to speak.
I would just like to say that I hope our leaders, the people we elect to represent us, realize we are living in a moment of profiles and courage, and this will be remembered these times.
I'd like to speak a message of hope. Our niece Kara gave birth to a beautiful 6-pound, 13-ounce baby boy on Saturday night, and my hope is that the world that he grows up in is full of love and family. Yeah.
I'm just here to remember my dad, whose birthday is tomorrow. He passed away during COVID, and he used to enjoy coming here. So lots of good memories and hope for the future.
So either you're all being shy, or you think the feelings and thoughts you're having cannot be spoken from this chancel. I just would like to offer again, if anybody wants to speak aloud the words upon your heart, this is part of why we're here. Use this, please, just because it's big. Thanks.
It's very hard to be hopeful at this time. And on Martin Luther King Day, Junior Day, I was looking at some of his statements, and I came across one that I keep thinking about. And it was that he said, if I can remember it, we can all expect finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. And I keep liking to say that to myself these days.
This one? This one? Oh, the other one. Okay. Speaking from this is better if possible.
I would just like to say that in this time of fear and heartbreak, that it's difficult this year being alone without my husband, but I'm so thankful that we have this community. We have Reverend Rebecca to help me navigate through these really bad times. Thank you.
I spoke to my college roommate yesterday morning. She lives in Minneapolis. And as you probably all know, it was minus 20 degrees. And there were thousands of people there. And her daughter Megan is a doctor at the VA hospital and worked closely with Alex. who I guess was a wonderful, wonderful man. But I was thanking her for their courage, because I feel that the people of Minneapolis, who are undaunted, are showing up despite this incredibly difficult, dangerous, and freezing cold situation. And I just was complimenting her and thanking her for their bravery. I said, you're such an example for the rest of us. And she said, oh no, I know you're with us. I know you're with us in your hearts, and I watch you on Zoom, so I really do know that you're with us. And you're just as brave as we are. So I feel that connection with them, and I know that you all do too. Thank you.
Two things, one close to home and one not a bigger thing. The one that's close to home is that two of my high school classmates have died in the last few weeks, and one I just heard about a few days ago. I was fortunately able to attend the service for one friend, David, when I was in Chattanooga. But Donna, another classmate, just died suddenly in her husband's arms. So those tragedies are there with us too. And the other thing is that I happened across, in a book I was reading recently, a reference to MLK3 and how he spoke of what this author calls tragic hope. And MLK said, believably to so many of his hearers, many of us will die before justice comes. But he said one way or another more than once that justice is built into the structure of the universe.
It's awfully easy to look around and think the world's going to hell in a handbasket. But then the last 2 days, you look around and you see neighbors with shovels and snow blowers helping out each other. And it was great. And it was a renewed sense of community and that we're looking out for each other. So if you need something, just look who had the shovel.
Including here at church. Our sexton, Donnie Rogers, sent a text of help, help, there's a lot of snow. And members and friends came. So yes, there is hope and there is community. I would like to also lift up, before we sing Sanctuary together, as always, all of the joys and the sorrows and the fears and the sadness and the anger, all that is here in this room, that although unspoken, is held in just as much love and care. I also light a candle for my dear friend Janine's godfather, who has been in detention since November in Plymouth. As she and I spoke today, she said, it's cold. It's cold outside, and I can only imagine. No contact. I also light a candle this evening for the 45 to 50,000 Haitians who are on the TPS status in our state, and what they are fearing, enduring, and about to undergo. And I lift and hold up all of those families and their friends and families this evening. So let us join our voices in sanctuary.
Open my heart to be a sanctuary, all made holy, loved and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living
invite us to sit together in quiet contemplation or meditation for just 2 minutes here together in this space. And may our minds have rest. May our hearts feel held. And may our bodies be renewed. Forgive me for my voice this evening. I've done my own share of raging. I guess sometimes you can't hide it. I've also chanted and spoken in large public places. So that's what's happening. I'd like to offer my thoughts and a reflection on both action and love at this time. So here we are again. And as I look at some of you in particular, I remember the vigils that you've come to, the times that we've gathered when the war started, when the synagogue was shot, for Transgender Day of Remembrance, for so many other times we gather. We gather for strength and community, and we gather to bear witness to what is happening. I challenge us to realize that this gathering matters. There is so much fear and anger, lies, noise in the world. Whatever we can do to allow ourselves to be rooted in a sense of community and belonging, finding even an iota of rest or peace or hope, it matters. Here we are again, gathering in times of tumult, tragedy, and yes, increasingly outrageous times. I'm just going to share what came out and what I'm thinking these days. Our democracy is not what we once knew it to be. And it's getting worse, not better, by the day. Some of those folks that maybe in 2015, before the election of 16, were shouting warning signs. I have some calls to make to say, you were right. We didn't listen. It seemed extreme. What is that word you're using? Fascist? There are so many reasons right now to be afraid. It is easy and understandable to feel powerless and overwhelmed at a loss of what to do. We're angry. My voice is not right because I'm angry. So do let it out. Do let it out. Let it out intentionally. Let it out in ways that don't cause more harm to others. Let it out in ways that allow you to become that clear vessel of commitment and action. We cannot suppress all that is within us and expect to be agents of good. Bob Tyler Nelson gave me the pin, "Be good," for Renee. Good. To be agents of good in this world, truly, it's how we do our actions as much as that we do them. So get the anger out. Get the anger out. Get the sadness out. Find safe places like we offer here and in the listening circles and elsewhere in your life. Reach out here to pastoral care associates or good friends. But I encourage you not to just inflame each other, but really allow yourself to heal with each other enough to carry on. I have ministerial colleagues right now, and I have never said this word, I probably won't, but you'll get it. I have ministerial colleagues right now who are on a group thing. One of them is asking, is it okay to say a 4-letter word that starts with F in a pastoral prayer from the pulpit? That was a fun slew of responses. My favorite was one of my colleagues who said, I understand the desire, but I wonder how your congregants would feel when that's said one Sunday and the next Sunday you say that love is at the center of our religion. In the end, she let them say it. How's that? Her people said it. She didn't. These are unprecedented times. The reason I call them unprecedented is because they have never been here in our country, in our state, in Minneapolis, on this day. So yes, I am pushing back on some things you're hearing, right? And you'll hear more about this, but we've been here before. We've gotten through difficulties. I think at this point, it is in many ways harming us to only land there. Because I've been really reflecting on the fact that these days have never happened now, today. With you at the ages you are, grandchildren, children, whatever is happening in your life, never have these happened before. So we need to figure these days out now. It's not enough to say we've been here before. And sadly, it is no longer at all true to say other countries go through these sort of things or have it worse. It's not enough to say those things because we need more than that. We need to acknowledge that what is happening these days is horrific. And I am not saying that to put any of us into more of a state of trauma or a fear-based response. I am saying we, the collective we, whether it is through this church or many of the other organizations you're with, we need to acknowledge truly what is happening. The deaths of Renee Good and now Alex Prete are gruesome. It's okay not to watch the video. this minister says, doesn't mean you don't care. It means you need to be the best person you can be. And we all know what that means for us. We know the actions we can take, we know the things we can listen to, we know where we can go and the people we need to be with. And I would encourage us to honor that and then do those things. What's happening in those 2 deaths and the other 32 deaths and so many other, more than we can put into an hour together. Maine, our state, 30 trucks a day of ice are landing in Burlington. Now, right now. So, I'm getting ahead of myself, but when I get to the action, you'll understand one of the things I'm going to share even more. But these things are in direct opposition to the values of our faith and the country we believed in and love. And I say that very, very specifically. It's the country we believed in. And I think we need to really understand that. Because as long as we're grappling with, could this be true? Is this true? Is this happening? Could this be, it's happening. There's hope. There's community. There are things we can do. And it is happening. It's our country that we believed in and will continue to believe in as we hold it to what it is meant to be. And we believe in love. As I said, we've not been here before. We, all of us, exactly as things are. But we are here now. We are here now. We need to realize that much of what we thought was real and true about the United States of America is not true right now. Democracy is not for certain right now. Our laws do not protect all people or the environment, and our courts are not unbiased. And you might think, I know all of that. Why is she saying those things? I'm saying those things because it is part of our wholeness, of our goodness, of our integrated selves. It is part of our faith. If you're here as a Unitarian Universalist, and I would imagine whatever faith you practice or don't, to know those things to be true, and then to choose how we act. We need to recognize that the horrors and the oppressive governments we thought only happened, or maybe we thought, in other countries, can happen here. They are happening here. So all of that is to say we need honest appraisal of what is happening. And that includes from this lectern, that pulpit. Enough to state the truth. And then we go on from there. We need the courage to not look back, to look forward, and to be here. Of course we can look back and learn, but we really need to be present, and we need to imagine and believe in the future. We must. What happens if all of us stop? I've been talking with parents and grandparents who say, this is all my child has known. This is all my grandchild has known. So if we stop believing and seeing that future we believe in, what are we doing to those who are younger than us? To those who at the moment, the things we lived in and believed in are history. We need to give them all that we can so they have a different reality in their life. I ask us to stop comparing not only countries and times, but each other. Please, please. Can we let go of definitions of what it means to act? Can we take all the times we feel badly about ourselves because we're not doing enough, or we judge another person because they didn't show up, You know what they say about fingers pointing, right? Can we please focus on our own selves with love, compassion, be an example, but stop comparing? Can we recognize that by the very virtue of every single person's life, yours included, you are not only worthy, you are worthy inherently, but you are acting. Your life is acting. What you're doing, not doing, thinking, not thinking, seeing, not seeing, saying, not saying, all of that is action. It's our interactions, our attitudes, our words, our choices, whatever they are, they matter. It matters. We will be saved, if you will. We will get through this time when all of us realize that all of our actions, attitudes, and contributions to our own life and the lives of others make a difference. We heard it about the shoveling of snow, and it's true about everything we do, even though we generally don't know it. There are actions that we can take, and in many ways, I think today it can be overwhelming. Because not only are we being barraged with the news and all the atrocities of things that are happening, but we're being barraged with ways to get involved and ways to help. So what I would say to each of us is, find the few, and it could be 1, 2, 3, but find the few that speak to you and truly develop relationships with those organizations and those people. Get to know them. Let it be another community within your life. We can't all respond to all the calls to action. Not only does it overwhelm us and deplete us and sometimes confuse us, but it spreads us and our relationships so thin. We need people we know who we are with and beside. We have parishioners right now who are at the LUCE training. The Immigration Justice Network of Massachusetts is offering a training, I think it's 6 to 8 p.m., to be involved with their hotline and reporting of ICE incidents. That's an amazing organization. The work they're doing is real and on the ground and important. If that's what speaks to you, do it. And let it be real. Get to know the people. Show up for what you volunteer. MCAN, the organization that I lost, part of why I lost my voice, the Massachusetts Community Action Network, does a lot of things you hear me asking and calling you, inviting you to be involved with regularly, and those things matter. And you too there begin to develop relationships. But even if you choose not to do the actions, they have, like many organizations, but I can attest to theirs, a mailing list that regularly sends you actions you can take. Like the one today, it had a draft email, a template you can use to email to your senators. It has a call that you can use, a script you can use when you call the senators to vote no on DHS funding. These materials are provided to you. So again, pick a few of these ways. I want to speak for a moment, because I said that I would, about what MCAN is doing. It's a statewide organization, and we are asking the governor, and have been now for about 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and it's getting hotter and stronger and louder, to use her executive powers in 3 ways. 3 ways. And one of them is to say that you cannot use our state land to put your ICE trucks, materials, guns, and people. It's being done all around the country, and governors have that authority. We're also asking her to tell the people who work for our state that they do not need, and in fact are urged to not comply with ICE. Does not mean that they don't protect people. It doesn't mean they're not at protests. It doesn't mean they're not involved. But it does mean something like when an officer in Newburyport is asked where such and such a person lives who is undocumented or who is an Afghan, They don't give the information. And the third thing that we're asking is that there is accountability, that we know where our people go as they're leaving right now. The people in Massachusetts, we don't know where they are. We can't act fast enough to know that information. Those are the three things we're asking the governor to do. So again, we have right here, someone came up, and I'm sure many of you could give me many other things, but Democracy Strong meets right there in Parish Hall every second Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. I know many of you are at the Saturday rallies, and many of you are involved. I believe it's really important that we make our choices, develop relationships, real relationships, because we're better in relationship. Getting flooded by the news and overwhelmed, we know, is part of the tactics being taken right now. We know that to be true. And we all care better when we're connected and as well as possible. Another thing I want to offer to us that I believe could be life-changing at this time, and it's happening some places, but not all. It's a change in the American sort of pedagogy of individualism. It's a simple thing. Instead of saying, what can I do, say, what can we do? I hear so many of us saying, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Well, honestly, for most of us individually, not what it's going to take. But when we understand that we are part of a collective, as we heard from Reverend Jane about people in Minnesota who are grateful for people here, when we know that in our bones, things begin to change. We is strong. I is vulnerable. We all need people and places and rituals and safe spaces to process our emotions, as I was saying earlier. The listening circles we're holding are one option for that. As I said, we have pastoral care associates. But I had a dream this afternoon as I was putting some of these thoughts down in writing. And I thought, what if we shared those resources with each other? What if we created some written or any form of a documentation of places, activities, people you follow, practices for how we can care for ourselves? And what if we offer that as a resource as well to our congregation and each other? Even there, we is stronger. Our Unitarian Universalist faith is centered in love. Love is at the center. It is love that is bold, love that knows that love is indeed, as Cornel West says, what justice looks like in public. Love that lives into the fact that we are all interconnected. It's not happening to them. It's happening to all of us, just as hope and recovery and witnessing and resisting can. We are a faith that knows that love thrives in diversity and it grows in freedom. We believe in a love that shows grace, that welcomes all of ourselves and cares for each other. That love, when combined with collective action, is what we need. That love and action is what will save us from the despair that aspires to overwhelm us. That love and action is not for ourselves alone. For no person is an island, and we cannot live for ourselves alone. Those are a few of my thoughts. We're going to move into our unison participatory activity, and Joanna will explain what we're about to do, and then I will be naming things. There's a responsive call, which is again and again, together we journey in action and love, and then we'll open it to others who might want to lift up your own things. Joanna.
Our task, to paraphrase the 19th century Unitarian minister, Reverend Theodore Parker, although the arc of the moral universe is a long one, and although we cannot experience its full curve, we can still deeply believe that it bends towards justice, and that we can have a part in bending it that way. Together, we are striving to bend the arc, to build beloved community, to build a world rooted in love and justice, with accountability and sustainability at its core. This is an important commitment that will take all of us. This is a task that will take generations. We build on the legacy of those who have come before us, and we do our part during our lifetimes. And we will pass on what we have done to those who come after us, creating foundations upon which they can build. We may experience some of the results of our efforts, but their effects spread in ways we may never fully know. It is hard to stay committed to such a long task with few clear results. In order to make this powerful, sustaining, generational transformation, we must create a container that is sustainable, that nourishes us, even as we do so much, that allows us to continue on even when things are challenging.
Let us take time to notice and name the challenges that are present in this powerful commitment that we are making together. I will read some challenges, and after each challenge is shared, I invite us all to respond with, "Together we journey in action and love." And then after I've said a number of them, we'll open it up for anybody who would like to offer your own thought of challenges. We are confronted with our fears of doing or saying the wrong thing. Together, we journey in action and love. We wonder if we have the capacity to do this, if we are enough to do this, if we are the right ones to do this. Together, we journey in action and love. We face the scary possibility that we have not built trusting, accountable relationships. Together, we journey in action and love. We worry that we're not following the lead of those most affected by what we are addressing. Together, we journey in action and love. We fear that we won't learn from our mistakes and we will continue to make them. Together, we journey in action and love. We worry that it will be hard to follow through our vision with our time, money, and resources. We know that institutions move as slowly as glaciers and fear that ours will move more slowly than the speed of trust. Together, we journey in action and love. We face systemic problems that are embedded and entangled in everything. Together, we journey in action and love. We fear that in the face of so much, we freeze, and that our institutions might die. Together, we journey in action and love. We know that we are mired in white supremacy culture. Together, we journey in action and love. We face internalized oppression, taking in all that our society has told us is true about ourselves and the world around us. We worry that our approach may be unsustainable and that we will burn out. Together, we journey in action and love. And so I invite you now to name other challenges or fears and worries that you face in our movement building. And after each person speaks, we'll affirm that together we journey in action and love. So Joanna can come around with the microphone to hear and let us hold your concerns, the challenges of this world, and what is on your mind as we move together.
I worry that the lying culture will never ease, and that the truth will not emerge in time.
Together we journey in action and love.
I suspect that we all have somebody close in our lives whom don't see things the same way we do, and perhaps are fully supportive of what's going on in this world. They're close to us, they're our friends and our family. I'm afraid that I don't have the strength to live up to our ideals of feeling the value in every person and every soul, and to be able to have love for those people. I hope I can find the answer here.
Together we journey in action and love. It's in the back, Joanna. In the
back. I worry that we'll not be able to stick to our principles if the time comes that it comes at a high personal cost, and that I pray that as a community and as individuals, we can hold on to what we believe no matter what it costs to us.
Together we journey with action and love. So now I'm lifting those fears that you have. Fears of inadequacy, fears of rage overtaking you, fears of disappointment in others. And we will say, together we journey in action and love. We're going to have two pieces of music in between. We'll extinguish our chalice, but our first one is our closing hymn, so please rise, which is number 1014. This is the Teal hymnal, and maybe, Joe Brule, you could put the lights up a little bit. I wasn't super kind to people. If can you put the lights up so people can read better? Thank you. It says standing on the side of love, but to be inclusive to all and not ableist, it is answering the call of love, 1014.
So every soul
please join as Joanna extinguishes the chalice. We are going to leave our candles of peace burning, burning in memory of the Holocaust, burning in memory of the hope that organizations do change, and all of these candles of lives that have been lost, that we may have courage to act and to love. Join me in the words in your order of service. May the love which overcomes all differences, which heals all wounds, which puts to flight all fears, which reconciles all who are separated, be in us and among us now and always. You want to introduce this, Nick?
So for our postlude, we'll all sing Courage, My Friend, and you can find the words on the back of your order of service. I'll lead us through it, and you join in when you feel right.
Why don't we hold our candles up? Turn and look at each other the final time.
Courage, my friend, you do not walk alone. We will walk with you and sing your spirit home.
you.